At Kabul International Airport, in their thousands, they are packed in like cattle and punished like it too. They wait desperately for evacuation flights, but barely shift as the deadline for US troops to exit gets nearer. This afternoon, Boris Johnson left number 10 just moments before reconvening the G7. Moments later, this was President Macron of France joining that virtual meeting. When this president and the Prime Minister met just 2 months ago in Cornwall,
fantastic to see you.
Afghanistan was something of an afterthought, but today it dominated. Speaking earlier, the government downplayed the chances of the 31st of August deadline being extended.
In the MOD, we're planning for the worst and hoping for the best, but every hour matters. Nothing is lost on us. 24 hours a day, we are working. Only in the last 24 hours, we got out over 2,000 people in evacuation, and we are pressing and pressing to clear those people through the gate.
Today, the US military pulled off its biggest day of evacuation flights so far. But the warnings from the Taliban concerning the airport intensified. In a news conference, a spokesman urged Afghan nationals not to go there or to leave the country. Go home, he told them. We convey again a message to the Americans to withdraw all its citizens at the given time frame, he says. We don't allow the Afghans to be evacuated. We are not happy with that. As more evacuees landed in the UK earlier this morning, there came a warning today that the numbers will start declining in the days before the deadline. Military veteran Clive Chapman says the removal of army equipment will take up space and time in those final flights from Afghanistan.
The final 2 days, 3 days needs to be the evacuation of the military footprint with the equipment that they brought in. So you have to finally balance when the end is the end for civilians in order for your military force not to be stranded, because you can look at what things mission success might look like, but it's absolutely clear what mission failure and military disaster would absolutely look like.
In the coming days, the airport will be back in the Taliban's control, but thousands upon thousands are desperate to leave it before then.
Well, let's speak to Julian in Downing Street. Is there any indication what they've decided, Julian?
Well, Simon, there was no real suggestion, I think, that the deadline would change. The Defence Secretary very downbeat yesterday and this morning as well. That G7 summit ended around 4:30, and in the last few minutes we've just heard from the Prime Minister.
This is an extraordinary airlift. We've evacuated 9,000. The UK alone has taken 9,000 people out of Kabul. I think 57 flights. Huge effort by our military, and we will go on right up until the last moment that we can. But you've heard what the President of the United States has had to say. You've heard what the Taliban have said.
A real tribute to the British military there from the Prime Minister. More clues about this deadline, though, from a Pentagon briefing around an hour ago. US Admiral John Kirby was very clear. He said there's been no change to the timeline of the mission. So what did they talk about in this G7 meeting, apart from the deadline, where there was talk about trying to get consensus about what to do for the people who can't be evacuated from Afghanistan, what to do to prevent human rights abuses going forward as well. More detail, though, in that Pentagon briefing. They said that 3 babies have been born during the evacuations, 1 born on a military transport plane in the last week, and another 2 on landing at an Air Force base. So all facets of human life being experienced on the ground in Afghanistan and in the skies above it.
OK, Julian, thanks very much.